Hello, welcome to the latest edition of Let's Talk Sports, our NBA edition. Yes, you heard it right, our NBA edition. Starting this week, this is our kickoff show. We're going to be doing NBA every week, talking about philosophy, all kinds of stuff. We love NBA. My co-host Jack, I'm Rick. How you doing?
Good.
Good. You ready to do some NBA?
Yeah.
You ready to do some NBA?
A lot of games to cover, a lot of teams to cover, I should say. Like this week alone, what stood out to me was the licking that Cleveland gave the Nets.
2 nights in a row.
I know.
Yeah.
Wow.
How about that kid Sexton? Unbelievable. I watched that first game, the overtime game, and what did he make, about 11 in overtime? I mean, he just kept hitting threes, nobody guarded him. I'm like, this kid is great.
Oh, you said guard, so then that means you have to play defense?
They don't play defense in Brooklyn. They just outscore you.
They did last night, though.
Last night's game was fun.
Yeah, they did last night, which was surprising. I was like, okay, look at you, 85, only holding them to 85 points.
Yeah.
So they, coach probably lit a fire up there. You know what?
Yeah, it's fun, and I hope all of you had a chance to watch Brooklyn with the 3 superstars they have now. You know who they are, and it's fun to watch when they're clicking it and when they're really going, when they're really pushing the ball and they're getting it down court, and all 3 of them are shooting, driving, facilitating. Harden's getting a lot less shots. I think they're saying he averages like 8 shots a game now. He had 17 last night, 17 points, but he made that big 3 down the stretch. But they're fun to watch. They just don't play defense. They don't have enough presence in the middle. And if they don't get another big man other than DeAndre Jordan, they're not going to be champions. You need another big man to come in when Jordan goes out. They're not getting a lot of offensive rebounds. Jordan he's at the end of his career.
Absolutely, and it's nothing bad about him. It's just a matter of
that's what he is now. Like Dwight Howard, they are what they are. They're still good players.
But you have to plan for eventually a run at the title.
Yeah.
And that's one of the spots that they're deficient right now. The only other question is, you already gave up so much to get Harden.
Yeah.
What are you going to give up to get a big man? Another big man in there. So that's a question that we have to explore and see who's willing to give up what. But they gave up a lot for Harden.
Who's the most surprising player in Brooklyn at this point, in your opinion?
Actually, it's Durant coming off his injury.
He hasn't lost a step.
He didn't lose a step, and I was quite surprised because normally with your Achilles, it's you don't step the same, but I can't see a difference in the way he plays right now. When anybody has an injury, I'm always going to root for them to come back and get back to 100%. But to see him like this, it's like kudos to the athletic trainers, all his rehab that he had to do. It worked out for him, and he did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
So it was nice seeing the way he's coming out there right now.
Yeah, it's heartwarming to me. He plays hard. He's a good dude, and he's a good player. The biggest surprise in Brooklyn to me is we're all getting a chance to watch them now. They're on TV almost every night now. Brooklyn was never on TV, but this kid Joe Harris, he is a great 3-point shooter. He hustles. I really like him. He complements the big 3 very well, and he really has stood out in my mind. And I'm watching him a lot more. But this kid Joe Harris, watch him. He's really a good player. He's a good part of that team there.
And you need a player like that where he's, in a sense, he's going to be open, because as long as the big 3 are on the court, he's going to be open, because everybody on the defense, their focus is on that, not realizing that, you got this money. He's going to be money. You leave him open with that 3, he's going to be knocking them down. So, he definitely complements them.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really, I don't know, again, if you're watching Brooklyn, it's fun to watch. They're on TNT, ESPN, NBA TV. They're on TV constantly now, and it's fun to watch them develop. And again,
and especially if you like offense, they're the team to watch.
Yeah,
because
oh God,
you
when
have
they're hitting.
yes.
I mean,
it's just you just got to bypass the defense. But when it comes to scoring, those guys they're doing it
yeah.
like nobody else is. So we're talking about Brooklyn right now, and they're the number 5 team in the East.
Yeah,
You know,
they're just getting it together.
I remember our conversation last week about the East. You know, he's like, who is in the East? And I said Philadelphia, which are number 1 right now.
Yeah.
Then we have Boston, number 2 spot. You know, are they as good as the teams in the West? You know, the record shows different. What's your surprise right now as far as where the teams are playing in the East or the West? Who's surprising you?
You know who surprises me, and the reason they surprise me, it's kind of funny, is Milwaukee continues to play average basketball. I believe they have a lot of talent there. And Giannis has so many turnovers, and Milton is up and down, and you know they bring in role players like DiVincenzo, and to me the big key in that team is, like we've talked about, is going to be Holiday. Holiday needs to be the glue for that team because they make a lot of mistakes. Milwaukee has the potential to be a great team. Milwaukee, and in my opinion, Milwaukee, and again, it all depends upon health. Health is big in the NBA. Milwaukee and Brooklyn are going to be in the Eastern Finals. That's my opinion. Boston, man, again, another up and down team. You basically got 2 players, in my opinion, in Boston. Smart, again, he works hard, but he makes so many mistakes. He's just all over the place. He's a good player. But, I mean, you know, they got their big 2 there, and it's like Tatum, Tatum and Brown. Those guys are great. You know, like last night, one had 34 and the other had 30.
So Kemba, big contract, is just
When's
sitting there?
when's he going to play? Kimba's out of the lineup half of the time. Of course Kimba's great. When Kimba's playing, but he's not a physical player. I didn't realize, because I never watched Charlotte, how small Kimba is.
He's very small.
He's a tiny guy, and he gets pushed around out there. And don't get me wrong, when he's on, he's great. If you got him on, you got Smart facilitating, which he does pretty well.
And then Tatum.
You got Tatum, you got Brown. Those are good players. And you know, you bring in a couple of role guys. They're a pretty good basketball team. And you know, Philadelphia's a pretty good basketball team. But again, Embiid doesn't play last night. What does he miss, 4 games this year? They've lost every game. They got killed every game. Embiid, teams can win without certain players. Certain stars that don't play because everybody picks it up. I don't see that in Philadelphia. Embiid is the key. Everybody else is so average there. So average. And I mean, I don't really like that Philadelphia team. I really like the potential. I love the potential of Milwaukee. I think they can get to the finals this year. They keep missing. I love the potential of Brooklyn. They got to stay healthy and get a big man. But I don't see anybody beating the Lakers. And when you talk about East versus West, I don't think anybody in the East can beat the Lakers. I don't think anybody in the East can beat Denver. And I don't think anybody in the East can beat the Clippers. And throw Utah in there too. Portland, too many injuries. Again, Dame Lillard is a beast. He's a beast. Curry, he's a beast. But those guys they're not on good basketball teams. Denver, they're starting to play good ball. I like Denver's mix. They play hard every night. And I look at teams that play hard every night. Phoenix plays hard every night. And they're coming back to the pack. They started out great. Everybody's getting in shape. You know, the NBA, this is what's great about this show, and you guys want to watch it because we got a lot of good stuff here. For me personally, I'm best at NBA. NFL, whoo, boy, I don't even want to talk about that right now. But
you had a winning record this season.
I had a good year, but in the playoffs, I mean, I missed both games. Let's talk about NFL with NFL show, but this is our NBA edition of, Let's Talk Sports, and we've been looking forward to doing this, right? And every week we're going to give you lots of information. Next week we're going to talk about how to bet NBA games because there's a real philosophy to it, and if you watch it closely, you can make a lot of money on NBA. I think the other night, was it Sunday? Yeah, I missed both NFL games, but I won every NBA game. Had a huge parlay. So, anyways, this is fun. I mean, NBA is, what a great game. Most talented athletes in the world. I mean, I love this.
So, speaking of the athletes and stuff, last week we talked about, how the California teams were able to avoid putting their players on COVID protocol.
Yeah,
and
that
here we
changed.
have two of the best players on the Clippers end up on COVID protocol on a 4-game stretch that they're about
6
to-
games. They're going
six-
on the road for 6 games.
6.
And they don't know when they're going to join the team. And this is what you got to watch. This is what I talk about betting lines. One of the things you really got to watch is who's playing. Like a lot of people automatically bet Philadelphia last night. They think, oh, they're going to win that game easy. They don't even realize that Embiid isn't playing. A poor Detroit team beats them by, what was it, 15 last night? Come on, man. Come on, man. And if you're going to throw bets out there, I'm telling you, know who's playing. And that's a good point you make about the Clippers. What, 13-4, playing great ball. Now they got their 2 stars out, Leonard and George on COVID protocol. So they don't know when they're coming out. They don't know when they're coming out on the road. And Patrick Beverly, who is their hustler, team spirit, is out with a bad knee. So the Clippers are a good team when they're all together. And that's why I talk about injuries. So all of a sudden they're going to maybe lose 3 or 4 games and look like, oh, they're not close to the Lakers. It's not true. The Clippers have been playing every bit as good as the Lakers right now.
When healthy.
When healthy. The Lakers have had a great run with injuries last year and so far this year. They have stayed healthy. The Lakers have stayed very healthy. And LeBron, how old is he? 36?
Yeah, something like that.
That game last night, 46 points. I mean, he took over. But he wanted to, he was in Cleveland.
Yeah,
so he had a little more pizzazz.
He said he had some home cooking.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's why.
And again, they're
that's why
not
he
playing
plays
anybody. I mean, Cleveland is hustlers.
No,
Cleveland plays hard. Cleveland doesn't have enough players.
They have heart, and they're playing upset. You come in there thinking that it's going to be an off night in Cleveland, they're going to show you otherwise. And you can ask the Brooklyn Nets, how did that turn out for them?
But you know what the thing is? Again, sports nowadays are very smart. They watch. Sexton surprised everybody. He played 2 incredible games. What did he do against the Lakers last night? What did he do? They shut him down. And teams are going to start focusing on him and shutting him down, doubling him more, not letting him get up there and just throw those 30-footers up there. He's a great little player. But again, he's going to wear himself out because he doesn't have enough around him. And again, Cleveland plays hard. One thing I like about certain teams in the NBA, every night they show up and play hard. And to me, that's tough because you play this year 72 games, generally 82. 72, but, Lakers in the West
they remind me of
dominate.
They remind me of the Hawks when Trae Young got there.
Yeah.
How, it's like basically he had the team on his shoulder and he went out there and played hard every night. And look at them now, they're number 6. They're number 6 right now. They're at 500 at 8-8, but still, like, you play hard eventually, you get better, and hopefully the GM will add one more piece to complement you. Or
Young's hurt now.
Yeah.
He didn't play last night. Who was facilitating for Atlanta last night? Rajon Rondo. From the Lakers to, what did they pay him to go to Atlanta?
More than the Lakers would have.
Well, exactly. They're paying him pretty good, but he was out there last night. I was laughing. He didn't look like quite the player he was with the Lakers because, again, he's got the right, cast of people around him. I mean, all these teams. You look at New Orleans. What talent. Brandon Ingram, what talent.
I like
Zion,
Ingram.
I loved him when he was with the Lakers. Ingram is a great player, man. I wish he was still with the Lakers.
Why do they keep? Is it money? Why they let him go instead of Kuzma, or they thought Kuzma had more potential?
No, it's very simple. New Orleans didn't want Kuzma. They wanted him. They wanted Ingram, and they got a couple other guys, Ball, who's no big bargain, and Josh Hart. So they all start, but I mean. Ingram is great. Hart is an average player. Ball is a good defensive player, and he passes pretty good, but he's not going to be in the NBA in 5 years. The guy's not that good. I mean, I watched the mistakes he makes. New Orleans, they got a lot of talent. But, I mean, and Stan Van Gundy, the coach, how many teams is he going to coach for before he decides to stay in the booth with his brother? His brother's smart enough to stay off the coaching lines.
Oh, he wants to come back in the coaching.
Do what? Lose again?
Yeah.
These guys crack me up. Anyways. It's a fun season. We played about 13 games, 14 games. Everybody's getting in shape. East versus West, we'll see. It's interesting. The Lakers are 10-0 on the road. 10-0 on the road. That's pretty impressive. Their 4 losses are at home. But to win on the road like they are, they're on the road for 7 games. They've played 2 now. They won them both. But, you know, Lakers are better this year than last year. And I don't see them getting beat. But, again, injuries, teams getting a certain player. We don't know what's going to happen in Brooklyn. I hope it's the Lakers in Brooklyn in the championship. And if they're all healthy, we're going to have a hell of a good time. But anyways, I want to thank you for watching this kickoff show. We have a lot to talk about on NBA. Is there anything else you really want to talk about before we say thanks for watching this first show and a lot more information coming to you?
Well, sorry to end on a somber note like this, but I want to, you know, this is 1 year since we lost Kobe, and you know,
crazy.
You know,
1 year.
The amount of people's lives that he had an impact on.
Sad.
You know, my big thing with him, what he was doing, you know, is I have a daughter at home. You know, she's not playing basketball, but maybe she gets the itch a couple of years from now. But he was so big in trying to promote the WNBA and making it a bigger brand. You know, not to mention the stuff that he does with his daughter and the stuff that he just, as a humanitarian, you know, I just want to, you know, rest in peace to the legend, and you know,
well
like
put.
a moment of, you know, to remember him.
Thank you for bringing that up. Today is 1 year, exactly the 26th, that Kobe and so many others passed, including his beautiful daughter. It was a sad day. It's still sad times, but you're right about the effect that he has had on people's lives, particularly young ladies in sports. And what a good man. If you haven't watched it, there's a special on ESPN that is really, really good. It's a memorial. It's a tribute to Kobe and his family and the people that passed. It's really, really good. And it makes you understand the kind of man that Kobe really was and what a great man he was. And we miss him. God bless Vanessa and her family and the family. Kobe, you're missed. We love you. Thank you for bringing that up. It brings a little bit of sadness to me, a lot of sadness. But anyways, thanks for watching. Continue. Watch us also at Roku TV. We're over there. You can get us at Roku. You can get us at WWDBTV. Please watch. You can get us at YouTube. Check this show out. We'll be at all these social media places. Thank you for watching. Continue to watch. We got a lot more fun NBA stuff coming for you, particularly how to play your betting lines.
Hit that notification button.
Thanks for watching. God bless. Talk to you soon.